What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Today's video is going to be one that's a little bit different than our usual videos because we are going to be looking at what you guys can't see right now is my CVT Mount Rainier rooftop tent. I've had this thing on the FJ for a long time now. So this is not their current model. This is, model from a few years back, but basically the same principle and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to talk about things I like about the tent, things I didn't like about the tent, show you guys how easy it is to set it up. The only reason why we're going to be doing this is because I might be selling this tomorrow. So it's either now or never. So we're going to go and take a look at it. So stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and just kind of look at everything you get with the rooftop tent before we actually get it out of the bag. And then I'm going to show you how easy it is to set it up. And then we'll just kind of talk reviews. So stay tuned. So first things first, here is the tent itself, guys. As I said, it is the Mount Rainier. This thing folded out is massive. So this thing is 96 by 72 inches wide. This thing is basically just a foot longer than a California king bed when it's actually folded out. So it is a humongous tent. But besides the tent itself, you also get the bars here that hold the windows open. And then you also do get the mounting brackets, which I have modified mine because if you guys have had a rooftop tent in the past, you know these bolts will spin. So I JB welded mine in there. So I guess these are non-adjustable now, so you can't really change the length of the bolt. But hopefully the people who are coming to look at it might have a 2-inch bar they're going to be putting on, like a bed rack or something like that. But you do get just a standard bolt, which kind of looks like these when you order it from the factory. So you get those, you get a bag of extra parts. You do get your annex itself. So I've never used my annex. This thing is basically sat in my closet, just there. It's a great option to have, but I just never happen to use it. You also do get tie down stakes, and then you get a carry bag for your bars for the windows. And then you also do get the annex floor, which is kind of a cool option. So you can actually have the annex completely sealed off or just partially sealed off, which the annex, as I said, is a great option because you can actually put more people down there, make it a changing room, or even like put the pets down there for something like that. But that is everything you do get with your CVT Mount Rainier. Now, one thing I do want to look at before we actually fold it out is, as I said, the size. Now, this thing is perfect for the FJ. It kind of sits, gives you about 6 inches front and back when it's on my Baja rack. When I had this on the Tacoma, though, the Tacoma's bed is actually a foot shorter than this tent is in lengthwise. So I ended up getting the larger KB Voodoo bed rack when I had that, but I was overhanging off the back of the vehicle, probably about, give or take, 6-ish inches after it goes over the bed rail, and then off the back of the vehicle. So something to kind of pay attention to. If you guys aren't into that look, I'll throw a picture up on the video to kind of show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, just be self-conscious about size when you get this tent because this thing is huge. But it's nice if you have 3+ persons, what they rate it as. One last thing I do want to talk about is the bag itself. So as you guys can see, this is how it's going to be sitting on top of your roof rack, on your bed rack, whatever you have. But I have actually had this thing mounted, and it's only sat in the garage for a few months now, but it was mounted for 5 years, basically just getting baked by the sun. So I think realistically, it didn't do too bad. As you guys can tell, it is a little weathered. It's got some light discoloration going on. There's some tree sap over there, etc. on it. But overall, it's still not leaking. There's no tears in it, and it's been hit by tree branches, all kinds of stuff. So overall, the bag is actually really durable for the most part. So I have really no complaints there. It would be nice if it didn't fade as quickly, but I mean, it's held up pretty much just fine. Now, before I do go open the bag, I'm going to show you guys what it actually looks like. I'm just going to time lapse how it actually folds out. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take off these Velcro straps here, and then from here, there's a zipper that runs all the way around to the other side. We'll take the cover, fold it over, and then we're gonna take the actual tent and fold it out. So then the tent will actually be fully deployed, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the window anchors bars in so everything looks proper. That's about it. First off, I do apologize for the weird angle seeing this tent not on a vehicle, but this will let us take a good look at everything. And first off, let's go and talk about the rain guard. So this is a nice heavy-duty rain guard, front to rear. I have used this tent in the rain, and we didn't have a single leak coming through anywhere. So with the help of the rain guard, as well as the heavy-duty canvases on this thing, I mean, realistically, I don't think you're going to have any problems with moisture coming in from the outside, because I have, as I said, used it in the rain, and we did use it in a sleet snow kind of mix, which I did pull these sides down just so we didn't have too much weight added on there. But moisture resistance wise, you're not gonna have any problems with outside elements coming in. So kind of jumping back to deployment, as you guys saw, it was extremely quick and easy to get this tent fully set up. As I said, less than 5 minutes. And that's just kind of those little tweaks they've done to this thing to kind of let everything deploy as one. The whole frame inside of the structure, which is all nice, I don't even know if it's aluminum or whatever it is, but the tubing in there, super heavy duty, and it allows everything to come out of the bag as one. Which, now going back to the bag, you guys saw, I like to take the bag itself and fold the edges up so that zipper doesn't interfere with anything as you're going around. Next up after that, you do go around and you unclip the 2 clips that are on the side of the bag itself. This basically just compressing all the tent material in between the 2 sides of the frame. So once you unclip those, you take your bag out, which I would not have my bag like this if we were mounted on a truck. I simply did this because it's kind of a pain to lay inside there with it rolled up. But when it's mounted on a car, you can roll the bag up and you kind of stow it away up by the roof rack, which is really nice. So once you fold that all stuff, or you get that stuff out of the way, you go ahead and grab a hold of your ladder. Everything pivots out towards you. And then basically you're ready to go ahead and put in your little window braces and all that stuff. So, which these are cool too, because they just slide into a small hole, as you guys cannot see it all on the camera, right there. And once that slides in there, there's little eyelet holes here that hold everything in place. So super easy. You can go with them, without them, any of that stuff like that. What I would do after that is then go around and fold down the little bit of tent material here that just kind of keeps all your edges covered. But I did want to show you this. This is actually the track system that the annex slides into. So you can see it's just kind of like a little partial circle hole there. And the annex has basically little fingers that go through here and loop all the way around on all the sides. So that's kind of how that annex clips into place. And then once you fold this over it, that is watertight as well. So again, that's all the same material as the tent, the heavy duty canvas, which is really nice. And then you do have the waterproof floor as well. So once everything is fully folded out, I'll put a picture in the video here as well, kind of showing you what that all looks like. I know they do make the ones that have the ladder is fully contained as well. So it's kind of like there's another piece of the rain guard and all that stuff that covers all that. So that's just another option if you want to go that route. So once you have everything deployed, your ladder supporting all that, now you're ready to get on inside. So we'll go ahead and take a look inside now. So as you guys can see, first off, I did roll up the door for you. It is the same canvas material up here. As you can see, it's all rolled up. So the canvas material will roll down on the outside zippers. You have the mesh material throughout going down the inside. So depending on if it's warm or cool, you can have mesh, or if you want privacy or whatever. Walking inside, you do have a foam mattress throughout the whole entire interior. And as I said, it is a California King, so this thing is huge. I'll go ahead and get to one side. I mean, it is massive in here. So I know they consider it a 3+ person, but realistically, if you're short like I am, you can lay it this way, and then you could probably fit like 4 or 5 people in here. But not saying do that. But it's a great tent. As you guys can see, there is that tube structure. I just have a light hanging there for right now. You can see there's a lot of air vents inside, let out extra moisture, any of that stuff. You do have cable ports here, so you can run cables if you want to have a heater, any of that stuff. Now this one does have the bags inside for storage, 2 on either side. And then as I said, all the windows do have the mesh liners, and then they do have the canvas as well. So I rolled down that one and that one. Kind of gives you that option, the freedom. But the mattress is actually surprisingly comfy. It's a few inches, probably 3 inches, but plenty for camping. So one thing I did add, and you'll see here, this is CVT's anti-condensation mat. This is a must. I know I guess depending on your environment, if it's super dry, you don't need it. But here in Colorado, there is a little bit of humidity once in a while. And I have woken up before I added the mat, moisture inside the tent. So, I mean, you do have these little vents here we're supposed to breathe. But if it's cold outside, which that was specifically when it happened, we had everything rolled up. So kind of like hotbox ourselves in here. But there was a little bit of moisture inside the tent. You can see it on the ceiling. It was leaking a little bit. But with the anti-condensation mat, it helps it breathe a little bit more. And then we just kind of crack a window and it vents out pretty nice. But yeah, guys, that's about it on the interior. I don't know what else to show you. Yeah. Oh, I guess real quick. So you can see these little eyelets here. These are added so you can put a little bungee cord, which is included with a CVT tent. and it kind of just gives a little bit of wind resistance. You can go clip one side to the other, depending on if it's windy or not. You need that little bit of support for the tent. I have personally never used those, and we've been out in this tent, and it was pretty windy, and it handled it just fine. So other than that, one thing on the newer tents or the Summit series compared to the Pioneer, you will have shoe bags out here, which I really like. I'd like to add them. I think they also do clip in. Right here is that same track for the annex. I'm pretty sure it's the same track they clip into, and you can add them, which I would really suggest, just because you don't want to walk out down the cold ladder onto the dirt with, out shoes. So it's nice to have your shoes options here. We just usually put them in the corner. But if it's muddy, it'd be nice to just kind of keep them outside. But that is it, guys. That is my CVT Mount Rainier. I love this tent, just with moving and needing the FJ to be inside because of the tube doors. I do think we're gonna have to get rid of it. As I said, I have someone coming tomorrow to come take a look at it, so hopefully they take it. We've only used it a few times, and it's an excellent condition. So let's go ahead and just talk about some pros and cons real quick. All right, we'll go ahead and start off on a positive note. Pros. I love the size of this tent. Yes, it is big, but it is very roomy, and I think that's a plus when camping. You don't want to be cramped. I know some people will say, oh, we need a smaller tent, you'll get warmer quicker, but I'm not going out when it's 10 degrees outside. So the coldest I've ever been out in this tent was about 28-ish during the evening, and it was plenty warm, all that stuff. Again, we had a good sleeping bag and all that stuff, but spacious, warm. What else is a positive? I love the canvas. It's very hardy. This stuff will take a beating with it deployed and all that stuff. Rain guard works really well. It doesn't leak inside. The ladder is decent. I like the sliding ladder as opposed to telescopic. One reason, I've never had the telescopic ladder, so I don't even know how it works. But this ladder worked just fine. I like the ease of operation of setting it up. I like all the options of kind of making it modular so you can actually have the tent without the annex floor, which I think is a really nice feature. I do wish I had the extended version just to cover up the ladder. It'd be a nice aspect, which, it's going to be relatively covered. But it was raining one time. We had to get out and did get kind of wet just to grab some stuff from underneath the tent. But, other than that, it's a great tent. I love the mattress. I love the bags on the inside. As I said, this is just a Pioneer. So it would be nice to see more of the Summit series, kind of see the added bonus features. I'm pretty sure everything exterior-wise is the same with quality of build-wise. But otherwise, this thing is their lower-end model, but it's still perfect. So I assume even if the Summit series is probably even better than this. I guess specifically, I really do like everything about this tent. I think it's just a great buy. I know they're kind of pricey, but you can get them on sale or used, and they are, I'm selling this one used. So, you can tell. You guys can get one for, half the price and in excellent condition. So they're hardy and overall just a great tent. Now, a few things I did not like about the tent. First off, as I said already, was that condensation problem on the inside. I know that, it was a cold day. We had everything kind of closed up and it's kind of to be expected. But it's just kind of one of those things where it'd be nice if a tent could be completely sealed and not have a condensation problem, which maybe on the newer ones they have solved that. So that would be one complaint. The bag itself, as I said, I know it's not that badly weathered, but it did fade. It just kind of sucks. Now, the biggest thing for me is the zipper. So I have this zipper on here, the little end, whichever they call those things with the very end of the zipper right before you pop it off, like on a jacket, kind of like that right there. So I lost one of these ends. So now the zipper itself, which I'd show you, but it's kind of buried over there, the zipper's broken. Well, been trying to find just parts to fix that zipper. You cannot. So the biggest thing is, I guess, their option for that is if the zipper's broken, you can't find the pieces for it, basically you have to buy a whole new bag, which the bags are, I want to say they're like $150, something like that. So they're not the worst, which it would be nice because that would fix my weathering problem. But then you have to go in and reinstall the bag, which we'll see over here if you guys can even, nope, it's all out of the way. So anyways, it just would be kind of a bummer to have to reinstall a whole new bag just to fix a zipper, which kind of sucked. Other than that, I guess it's a little heavy. I know it's a big tent. I'm not complaining about weight at all. It's just one of those things where you will need another person. But other than that, I really can't think of anything that I absolutely hated about this thing. It is overall a great tent. I know some people have mixed opinions of the mounting hardware for these, and that's why people have been trying to figure out different solutions for mounting it. But I mean, realistically, they're not too bad. As I said already, let's see if I can find the one. It was this one right here. So you guys can see, I mean, I wallowed that bolt out real good there. So something happened, something bound up in the nut, and when it's mounted up there, when I had my other one on there, you couldn't get anything there. So I ended up having to cut it off, and it was a big old pain to actually get the tent off my truck just because I had one bolt seized. So that was kind of a little bit of a bummer, but something that could be avoided if you just put some anti-seize or something on there. So, but yeah, that's about it for bad things. And on that note, guys, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. Overall, I love this tent. It's a great tent. CVT as a company is amazing. One of the first kind of starters of the whole entire rooftop tent movement. And for, you know, the whole entire overlanding aspect, you can't go wrong with any of their products. This tent's great. The only reason why I'm getting rid of it, as I said, is because we're going to a smaller place. I would like to get another CVT in the future, but probably would get a little bit smaller just because it's only ever going to be 2 of us in the tent. So, other than that, this thing is great. If you guys are in the market, definitely check out CVT. I know some people have like, oh, well, the other brands might be cheaper. Yeah, but I mean, guys, this thing is quality. This thing has, you know, it'll take a beating from left to right, whatever you're doing with it. Overall, amazing tent. If you guys want to look at anything, check them out. But I think that'll about do it, guys. If you have any questions concerning the tent, feel free to message me, like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, just stay tuned. We have a bunch of the stuff with the Jeep build coming up. And we'll have just a bunch of other fun stuff coming on as well. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.